Hey guys, thanks for checking out the Bucked Up Podcast. If you wouldn't mind just hitting the subscribe button, like, sharing the video, we have new episodes coming out every Monday and Thursday. Enjoy. This episode is sponsored by Exotic Roots Hydro, which I have to give a huge shout out to. They are a huge supporter of the podcast, and I'm really happy to be working with them. If you're ever in Rochester, New York, and you need to learn about any of your hydroponic needs, go to their shop. You can follow them at Exotic Roots Hydro on Instagram. Shout out their whole team. They have an amazing venue space. They're going to be putting on tons of events. Just make sure to follow Exotic Roots Hydro on Instagram. And if you're ever in Rochester, definitely stop by. Let's get back into it.
It was at this moment that he knew.
He bucked up.
Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you
Thank you for coming on, man. It's an honor to talk. This is maybe the most listening back to all your other albums. Like today was one of my favorite. Man, I loved that shit.
That's what's up, bro. I really appreciate it, man. Yeah, man. We worked real hard to get to this point, man. So I'm just happy that the music is being reciprocated and people fucking with it, man. That shit, it make me feel good every time I hear somebody say that they fuck with my music, man. I've been through it all.
I ran back 2K19 like 3 times today. That album.
Oh shit.
For real. That album was fly, yeah.
Wow. That's when that album, yeah, that was like my last attempt at this shit, man. I've been dropping projects for a very long time and networking through the city and doing the open mics and showcases and shit. And when it got time, I think before I did 2K19, I went on a 2-year hiatus when I was just chilling. I wasn't fucking with music. I was just hanging out with family and friends and just enjoying life. But I was just like, you know what? Let me try this shit one more time. And that's basically what 2K19 was. That was my attempt to really do that shit. And that's why it's like, you kind of got a trap sound for certain joints, then you got the boom bap sound, then you got me harmonizing. I was just like, you know what? Let me just showcase my versatility on this project one more time. If it's a go, it's a go. And if not, I'll just sit back and regroup and try again later. But it just so happened that in the process of making that project, once I met Rim, man, me and Rim clicked. And aside from me and him putting together a dope record, which is Overkill on that album, shit, we hit the ground rolling and we never looked back, man.
It was awesome seeing you guys perform together at that 1,000 Word show.
Yeah, man.
I didn't even realize you were going to be there. Man. I was so excited when you came out, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I was supposed to be on the bill for my own performance. But what happened was I was supposed to, go take care of some business and I wasn't going to be available that day. But it didn't go that way. And I was available after a while, but they already had the flyer out with the names on it and everything. Yeah. So when I hit Rome, when I hit 1,000 Words up, I told him like, yo, bro, it kind of looked like I am going to be in the city after all, but don't change anything. I'm going to storm Rim set. So he was like, all right, bet, bro. Cool. So I just wanted to shock everybody. That's why I came in there and we had the mask on and everything. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, and
that's dope. I'm glad you enjoyed it, bro.
Yeah, that was dope. So what made you stop? What made you stop 2 years before 2K19?
Man, a lot, bro. A lot. Aside from regular personal issues in life, when it comes to the music issues, I was going through a lot also because I started a company. And it basically didn't go as planned. And it ended up, failing and shit. And
what was the company?
All right. So the company that I had was called Winter Circle Entertainment. And we was just pumping projects independently. That's why if you go to, datpiff.com and all of that stuff, and you type in my name, I do have older projects up there, even older than the ones that's on DSPs. But, I was just making music with a couple of people and stuff. And it didn't work out. It didn't work out. And I always, had the integrity and I always, wanted to keep going. So those 2 years, I was just sitting back and recollecting and picking up all the rubble off the floor so I could start rebuilding, you know what I'm saying? Because, I thought I had something good and it didn't work out that way, which was okay. It was a very good learning experience because I learned from it. And that's what made me the person that I am today. That's why I'm so resilient. You know what I'm saying? That's why my skin is so tough because, I've been through a lot, chasing this dream. But that's what it was, man. That's what it was. It was just basically me just learning the ropes of the game and learning how to build relationships and understanding that, it's not going to be an easy ride, So
Yeah.
I just had to sit back and recuperate, bro.
So you step back knowing that one day you were hopefully gonna go back, or did you step back being like, man, fuck it, I'm done with this shit?
No, I actually was to the point where I was like, I'm done with this shit plenty of times in my life. But in that particular time, I was just more so like, you know what? Let me sit back and recreate myself. That was more so my thing because I wasn't running with the same people anymore, and I was like, you know what? Excuse me, I had to take the points out.
No
I was
problem.
like, you know what? Let me just do this shit different. Let me just do this shit different. Let me be more so. Let me not want to be the one to be the CEO of the situation. Let me make myself the artist and let me work myself and let me just be a little selfish for a while. I'm not afraid to say it. I was deciding to be selfish because I spent a lot of time, trying to put together a label and, working with so much other different people and trying to put things together when I just kind of got pushed to the point where it was like, you know what? Do what you got to do for you. So I knew I was going to, take another shot at it, but it was just a break, just a way to sit back, watch the game, plot, see how I'm going to recreate and attack it in a different way.
And a lot happened between 2017 and 2019, especially in the scene.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. A whole lot happened, man. Yeah.
What made you come back then?
I never really planned on like just stopping, period. I just see my thing is once basketball failed, well, let me not say it like that. I've been doing music at the same time and I was playing basketball through the whole time. But once I basically fucked up in school and realized all I had was hip hop, there's no plans of giving up because I don't want to do what I was doing before. Like I don't want to be in, in the hood and going through issues and drama and having beef and all of this shit. Definitely when I know I got a dope ass talent, man. You know what I'm saying? So I never really planned on giving up. It's just my thing is I'm very patient. I'm very patient. And you can ask anybody around me from Rim to Wavy and all of that. I'm the one that's gonna sit back and you can put something good right in the air. I'm not gonna be the one to jump for it first. I'm gonna look, I'm gonna analyze it, I'm gonna make sure everything is right. And then I'm gonna take a, shot at it. And that's basically what I did with the rap shit. I was gonna pop back out at some point in time, period. It was always a plan.
Are you happy with that? That's how you look at shit, or do you look at that as like a detrimental? You wish you were more just like by the fly, seat of your pants type shit.
It's a gift and a curse. It's a gift and a curse. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes it always works out, but it's like I'm an overthinker, and sometimes I overanalyze shit, so it's not always good, man. And I also, correlate that with being a perfectionist. It's like I have so much fucking music, and it's just like sometimes you can be your own, your own strongest critic, your own worst critic, and it's like I'm like maybe I should drop this or no, or maybe I should do this or no. So it's kind of pretty good. It's always good to be an analyzer, but you just got to know how to work it to your advantage because sometimes if you wait too long, an opportunity could. You know what I mean? Slip right from the
Is that why you
hand.
like to be like the artist? Is because you like, I don't know, like I'm super critical of my shit. So if it was my like charge to put shit out, like I wouldn't be able to do it. That's why I have producers for the podcast that can do it. So I don't like listening to my podcast. I just do it because I know, like
yeah, definitely.
I just do it for me. I'm not doing it because I think it's, like everyone's gonna fuck with it. I'm doing it because I want to. But if I was in charge of it, I wouldn't do it because I'm my own worst critic.
Right. To a certain extent, that's how I work. I don't usually like to listen to. The thing is, the craziest shit about it is everybody around me like to listen to my music, and I don't. So I could be chilling with my people and all that, and we could be hanging out, and they could be like, yo, throw that Tree Grows in Brooklyn on, and I'd be like, I don't want to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
I understand it. My whole thing is it's art in line between art and self-expression with me, because all of my shit is real, and all of my shit, I write my songs in the heat of the moment. If I get time and I'm aggravated or I'm stressed out, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna write a full song about stress. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like I can't really sit down and listen to my stuff back, because as I listen to my songs, these memories and stuff play back in my head. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of do like to just sit back and be the artist and do the work. But I kind of also do like the hard work though, because I found a good balance with it. It's like I do the music, I throw it out, and then I like to just sit behind the boards and just work my own career. You know what I'm saying? I have no managers. You know what I'm saying? I occasionally do PR, but with A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, I didn't do it. It's just me behind the boards talking to everybody. I got a bunch of merch that I've been working out. I kind of like the sense of responsibility in a way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it's all on you. You can't like blame it on anyone else. If it works or if it doesn't work, it's you.
I like it like that. You know what I'm saying? As far as the music, my thing is to just do the music and give it out to the people. While everybody else is listening and deciphering the music and all of that shit, I'm working on Eddie Kaine's next move. You know what I mean?
Is it hard if that's your muse? Like if you use it as like an outlet, is it hard to get that muse because it comes from like a dark place? Like with like the like I don't like with you write about the fire and shit, like that's a really dark memory, but to get to that muse you kind of have to get to that certain place.
And that kind of explains why it took a year for me to put that album together. Me and Big Ghost was conversating and throwing tracks back and forth and ideas for a long time. But like I said, I write as I live, so it is pretty crazy, but I live a crazy life. So it's just funny. It's just funny because it's like I never run out of material, because not only did I not talk about a whole bunch of stuff that I went through in my past, but shit is just still going on today. And, the strong me and the strong, resilient me that I am, I'm just getting through it, letting the time pass. And I'm entering this shit, man. It's some bullshit, man. I'm putting it in my diary. You know what I'm saying? And it's just coming out good. But one thing I do want to say though, what I do want to say to people is I appreciate it. I see everybody who is saying, oh, I nominate this for album of the year and this, that, and third. I really appreciate it. I love my supporters and I love you guys for feeling that way. And I just want y'all to know, whether it's album of the year or it's not, or whether y'all feel it should be, I just want y'all to understand that my music is personal and it's real. You know what I'm saying? So whether you can compare it to somebody that, no offense to any other artist, but you can compare it to somebody that just sit in the studio and write the first lyrics that come to their head. But I would rather somebody come to me and be like, yo, I listened to this song and it changed my life. Or I listened to this song and it motivated me to do this. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of music I want to make, So thank everybody, but I still want y'all to just love the project for what it is. Listen and understand it. Don't just give it one spin or two spins and feel like, oh, all right, he got bars. No, that shit is real. Listen to it. Understand it's really going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was just on Crime Faces last night, Lukey Cage's podcast, and we were talking about it, and we were talking about how you are that way, but also Big Ghost is that way with his production. Like literally we were talking about his type of projects you can like stop listening to for 2 months, go back, and it's a completely different project that you never realized before. And that's what I'm excited to listen to your project in a year. Like, go back and listen to that shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I occasionally do that. Sometimes I get high, drunk as fuck, and I just sit back and, those are my times where I gain my confidence to listen to my material.
Man, that's hilarious, because when I have to listen to my shit, I roll a fat joint.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah.
And I'm like, shit, I just got to get through it.
I understand. I totally understand. But it's like, you can't say that when you don't listen back. You don't understand and you don't see that this is your calling, that this is what you do. I'm quite sure that you listen to yourself and said, shit, I am pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. But that's what I mean. You're your biggest supporter and your worst critic. Like that's because if you loved your shit, you would never want to do more. You would never want to push yourself. Like that's the
That's right.
The peril of a creative is if you loved your shit, you wouldn't do it anymore. And if you hated it, you wouldn't do it. You need both of it.
True. Yeah, man.
And it's funny, I on Good Calling was Ghost was saying that you were one of his favorite artists to work with. I heard.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's every artist that I've talked to that he's worked with has a similar mentality. So it's like you guys all want to like work on yourself. There's a reason he picks the artists he does.
Yeah, and the craziest thing about it, I said this to somebody else. Me and Ghost, the whole experience of putting the project together, I compared it to a kid being at an amusement park when it's time to leave. You know, when it was time for us to wrap up the project, I felt like I had a new friend. I felt like oh shit, I ain't gonna talk to you tomorrow, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how much we was building, and it was just a very dope experience, man. I'm not gonna lie. Aside, like behind the boards, aside from the music, man, Big Ghost changed my life, man. That was a real good alley-oop. He didn't have to help me at the time, but he saw something in me that, you know, it took me a long time to see in myself. So I was happy he actually, you know what I mean, took me under the wing and decided to do this project with me, because it wouldn't have been here today, you know what I mean, on my own beliefs. Like, we worked hard with it. I sat back and you know what I mean, I did my thing, and I kind of feel like we kind of put together a classic. Like, whether people want to consider it a musical classic or not, I consider it a personal classic, because it was a real big point in my life. That year that I listened to that project, and I just listened to that whole year, it was like major, man. And it was major. And I'm happy I really got to put that together with Big Ghost, man. That shit is real, man. Probably one of my favorite albums.
It's a beautiful piece, just like all together.
Mm-hmm.
It's a work of art all together.
Right.
Everything included in it. So he reached out to you for it.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the blue, like one day.
Me and him, I did a track with Rim for him before, and it was cool. He reached out to me for the posse cut for Phoebe's project.
Shout out.
That's my guy. Shout out Phoebe. You already know UFO Phoebe, my dude. And why?
One of the biggest supporters from the beginning of this podcast. Shout out UFO.
That's what's up. Yeah, that's my guy. And that's also why he's on my project. I had to make sure I returned the favor, because he gave Big Ghost the okay to, you know, put me on the posse cut. And my verse on the posse cut is when Ghost hit me like, yo, like, you know, people are hitting me about your verse on Phoebe joint. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, you know, I mean, we can put something together. And, you know, I already know who Big Ghost was, so I was ecstatic. I was just like, let it begin. You know what I'm saying? Let it begin. Yeah. And it wasn't supposed to be a year process. That's the funniest thing about it. We wanted to get it done as quick as possible. But man, I've been through so much, man. After he told me he wanted to do that, man, I ended up getting into a new place. That situation happened with my family. A bunch of shit happened on the streets. So it was like, the longer I was waiting to go to the studio, because what a lot of people don't know, that A Tree Grows in Brooklyn is one studio session. Aside from my verse on the posse cut, I did all of those songs in one session. That's how I work.
Real?
I live my life. I write my music. I recite my music, and I go to the studio and I do everything in one night, just so you can get all of the energy and just get everything then. So as I was going on and just writing, you know, more stuff was happening. And it's like, shit, it's like so many songs. The I Got 'Em, the song before the posse cut, that's probably like the third version of that song. Fucking East Flatbush, that's the third. I wrote 3 different versions of that song. Connie Hawkins was two different. Like, I just kept approaching it differently, and then, you know, the end results is what I got from that one studio session.
When did you know it was done? When did you know you could go to the studio finally?
When I started feeling like, all right, I gotta hurry up and put some music out. It's been a while since people heard about Kaine. You know what I'm saying? It started becoming a point where, you know what I mean, shout out to everybody in my team, Wavy, Spoda, Rim. All of my guys is working, and, you know, they just dropping a bunch of shit. And I was sitting back and I just kept feeling like Is it done yet? No, it's not done yet. Is it done yet? No, it's not done yet. But then while I'm doing that, they releasing projects, and vids, and projects and vids. I'm like, hold up. No, all right. Let's get together. All right, come on, y'all. Let's get it together. What we got? And that's when I just knew, like, you know what I mean? It's time for me to put this work in. So it was probably like, right. The project dropped in October. I was probably buckling down the end of August. Like, all right, I can't go through this year. I can't go into the fall, winter without dropping this shit. So, all right, Ghost, I think we got enough. I'm going to record. Let's see what we got. And
So out of the songs that you have on it, how many did he send you in the beginning, or is that the order that he sent them? Because I know with Feeve, he sent it in the order it was released, like that, and he didn't change anything. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I got a pack of the beats that I had. The beats that I had, it was in no particular order, but it was probably one beat. Honestly, the beat that you hear, the little interlude skit clip that you hear before Free Lunch, the track with me and Sky Zoo, that was actually a whole beat that I didn't end up using, and that was the only one. He gave me that whole pack, and then he gave me, that beat that I didn't use. But he didn't really have to send me much. Like, when it comes to when I receive packs from producers, I tell them I like the challenge. So don't ask me what you want, soulful, no. You send your beats. I don't care if you send 30 for me to pick from, or if you send 13 and say, I want you to do this 13, just send me what you want and I want to work with it from there. You know what I'm saying? I don't really like, to have much variety. Just send it through and I'll make it work. So he sent those joints. I laid those joints down. It just so happened that that's the project we got, and I sent it right back to him.
It's funny how shit works out like that, because it is like it worked out perfect. It worked out how it was supposed to. And I know there was a lot that came out to it, but I'm talking from an outsider's perspective. Even the release of it, everything. Like,
man, I was very anxious, man. I was very anxious and I was very scared, because I know Big Ghost projects is like major and they big, and the perfectionist in me, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I hope people fuck with this. And then I'm like, I hope I didn't wait too long to release it because they didn't hear me in a while. But that's just how an artist's mind is, man. You would sit back for a while and be like, yo, I hope they forget about me. But it's not like that. You know what I'm saying? Your people, your supporters are your supporters, and hopefully you gain the new ones, but they're always checking on your music if your music is timeless. But I was just feeling like, I just got to get it. And, yeah, man. I smoke a lot, man. What was the question?
I smoke a lot too. I don't remember either.
Yeah, but yeah, the project, man, it's dope, man. The process was fire,
man. I hope this is did Big Ghost know your stuff beforehand, or was it off of that one verse?
I don't know if he did any research at all, bro. Because honestly, the only thing he got from me was that verse, and then he did a track with me and Rim before. So
that's
me
wild.
Personally, I only know that Big Ghost heard two verses from me. If he personally on his own time never told me but went back and did his research, then that's on him. But I don't know, bro. That's why I'm saying, man, I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying? My catalog, I don't have a catalog. I have about 3 albums. I'm just getting warmed up. You know what I'm saying?
How many albums do you actually have, like, that you're sitting on?
Well, right now I'm probably sitting on 3 projects. I have 3 projects that I'm sitting on, and I have 3 albums that's out in an EP. I'm not counting the street mixtapes from datpiff.com. I'm talking about, like, established. And yeah, I'm just happy, man. He had a lot of people to pick from. I don't listen to the competition. Any of my guys can tell you, Rim, Wavy the God. I don't listen to artists out there. So I just felt super blessed, you know what I'm saying, when he picked me, man. I was honored.
Shout out Wavy too, because I love 1224. Listening back to that was insane. And I want to also shout out PQ for killing that cover. He's been
yes, sir.
Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Too.
That's my guy, man. That's fam right there.
Do you like working with the single producer on an album?
It's 50-50 with me. You know what I'm saying? It's 50-50 with me, because sometimes I just like the availability of using different producers for one project. You know what I'm saying? I just like the feel of it. I like the look. I like the sport of talking to a bunch of different producers at one time, you know, and picking the best beats and, you know, going through that stage. But I do like, you know, on the other hand, I do like working with one producer because it's real personal and it's intimate and you get to really build and get your say so in certain things and send them certain samples and try to get them certain beats to flip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you're doing a project with mixed production, you most likely getting a beat from a producer where you didn't tell him, yo, can you see if you could flip this for me? Or you see if you could do this. But when you're doing a project with just a producer, you might hear a song or you might have a song that you heard when you was younger and you always wanted it, you know what I mean, flip. And you just be like, yo, you think you can make this for me? And boom, 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 boom. And that's how that worked, you know? So I like the pros of both.
What do you think the difference was in your push for 2K19 that you didn't do earlier in life? Like, why do you think that was your moment to really like change your trajectory?
I think it was the energy that surrounded the project. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Once I met Rim in the middle of recording that project and also just recording that project in general, I was really on a like, you know what? I'm the shit. I'm a be the shit. I don't need nobody to tell me I'm the shit. Let's make this shit happen. And that's kind of the energy that was pouring through the headphones. You know, when you listen to the project, a lot of the songs is like, I'm a wild motherfucker from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. You're going to have to get a load of me. Move the fuck to the side. Y'all ain't fucking with me. And I feel like that, you know, I feel like that shows, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. Do you think because it was your last push, you're like, I'm going to give it everything I got?
Of course. That was definitely it. I don't know how long I would have sat back after that project, but I know I was like, you know what? I'm going to just give them all I got for this one. Just
How'd
give them
you
all
and Rim link up? You said it was in the middle of that project.
Yeah, so I met Rim long before the process of that project through family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Family grew up around Rim, and you know what I mean? I kind of basically grew up around Rim, but you know, we didn't really build much until I really got serious with the music, and you know, my bro told him like, yo, you should get with Eddie. You know what I'm saying? Eddie do music too. I know you're doing your thing. And at that time, I believe Rim was doing his music, but he was also working on New York Minute. I don't know if you know about the web series shot by Illa G.
Actually, no, I don't.
Yo, bro, if you got time, check out New York Minute.
New York Minute, I will.
Yeah, it's a dope ass web series based out in Brooklyn. Yo, it's fire. It's fire. But he was working on that. So I became a fan of that. You know what I'm saying? And every time I used to see Rim in the streets, I used to be like, yo, bro, man, like, I fuck with New York Minute. And it wasn't even about music. And it used to be like, yo, we gonna link. I'm gonna catch you.
Hey, guys. This episode is sponsored by the podcast Woody Two Shoes, hosted by comedian Thatcher Wood. Other than being a really good friend, Thatcher is one of the funniest comedians and podcasters I know. Woody Two Shoes is available on all podcast platforms. It's a comedic podcast where he interviews a different interesting person each week, and they get into a bunch of different topics. You should subscribe to his YouTube channel too. At 100 subscribers, he's giving away merch. At 500 subscribers, he's giving away a PS5. That's right. Yeah, a PS5. So make sure you go subscribe to Woody Two Shoes on YouTube and follow Thatcher on Instagram at Wood Two Shoes. 2 is in the number. Wood Two Shoes on Instagram. Let's get back into it.
So I'm trying to figure out what song it was. Trying to figure out what song. Soul in a Hole. Soul in a Hole. If you go on YouTube right now and you type in Eddie Kaine, Soul in a Hole, you know, it's an old movie, Soul in a Hole. Shout out to Booger Smith, the story about Booger Smith, you know, his basketball trials and tribulations and stuff. And Wu-Tang did a song on the soundtrack. Soul in a Hole was the name of the basketball tournament, which was in my neighborhood. And they did a song for the soundtrack. And we remade the song, me and some guys from my hood. So what Rem did, I guess that was his first time stumbling upon me, but he heard me and he was like, yo, this shit is fire. He instantly threw it on his IG and all of that stuff. And at the time, Rim's IG, my IG wasn't shit. You know what I'm saying? My IG was just straight, you know what I mean? Street. So he had Bernadette, he had the people over at Dug Down, he had a bunch of upcoming artists following him. So it was a wrap after that. Once he shared that and we vowed that we'll link up and work, that's how we ended up getting the song, number 13, I believe, Overkill. That's how we ended up doing Overkill. The video is on YouTube too. And once me and Rim did that and we was working in the studio together, it was just a spark. It was just a spark. You know, he had his situation with, God bless, you know, the family and, you know, Sean Price and the whole estate. You know, they still holding it down. But, you know, once Sean Price left, Rim was kind of on some, like, he really didn't want to do it either. So, you know, me and him both put a new energy into each other, you know, and that's what you got today, you know? So that's why the relationship met so good, because it's like, we was both on some, like, man, what the fuck is going on? What we gonna do with this shit? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yo, you want to make it happen? Yeah, you want to make it happen? Fuck it, let's see what we could do. And we killing them right now, you know? We killing them.
Sometimes you need that other person to like vouch for you and you to vouch for them to
Hell
like,
yeah.
you know?
Hell yeah. I mean, it's always good to be self-empowered, but you know, getting a push from somebody is always you know, even better.
Like I'll announce this on this podcast. I wasn't even going to talk about it, but me and my friend, hilarious comedian and dope ass rapper, he's both, Shamil Kumar, just did a deal with Vivo. We're going to be doing a podcast with Vivo wrapped up where we talk about whatever music is released that week and shit. We just signed that today, and it's cool having
congratulations,
thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Sure,
and I'm
man,
looking forward for people to hear it, but having that other person, like, it's cool. It's cool to be able to be like, all right, we're gonna do this together and do the next level push.
For sure, man. For sure. Because once me and Rim made that decision, and I met Wavy and Bub Rock and Rome Streets and Spoda and Ty Ferris, that whole family just kind of came together as well. So, you know, I'm blessed to, you know, have met Rim, have started working with Rim and meeting all my brothers, man. They gave me a new energy with this shit for real, man. And it feels good.
It's dope that, like, it's so dumb, but like New York rap, like there is the fucking scene of like real New York rap. It was like seeing you and Rim perform and Wavy up on stage at that 1,000-word show. Like that was like, I don't know, it brought me back to what I imagine hearing stories of like when New York rap in like the 90s and shit, you know?
For sure. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. That's the feel that, you know, we grew up on, and that's the film that we trying to, you know, recreate and bring back. And one thing I do want to say is shout out to Griselda Records. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Griselda Records, because they and Rock Moss, you know what I'm saying? Big heavy influence to help us push the culture forward. You know what I'm saying? If you listen to my old projects, you know, the not the albums, but the old street mixtapes from when I was younger, I was always, you know, still rapping and still kicking my hip hop shit too, but it just wasn't clicking. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to them for actually letting that shit stick and bring back. And now, you know what I mean? It's really popping. It's really popping. The mainstream is starting to try to get back into the hip hop. You know, they're starting to get back to hip hop.
And
now,
it's cool that the cities can show love to each other. It's not going to be like a rivalry between New York City and Buffalo. It's like, that's all
trash.
the same shit.
Yeah, not with me and my people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Shout out
I know
to Rome, you know what I'm saying?
like
Rome
that.
over there, Rome with Griselda, you know what I'm saying? So
not
that's
for real.
my bro.
I was just with Rome in Buffalo the other day.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, I feel like hip hop came a little too far to be beefing over minor shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? We all rap, we all trying to feed our families, you know what I'm saying? That's really what it's about. We all trying to get this money and make beautiful music at the same time. Now, when these artists do what they do and they have the lyrical warfare and they sparring, that's the shit I love. I love that shit. But as far as the beef and all this shit, it ain't about that, man. Let's work, let's build, and let's keep pushing the culture forward, because it took us a while for it to get back to this boom bap hip hop point. So let's keep the momentum going.
People think there's only a certain amount of slices of the pie, but that's not how it works. Like you said, like you're listening to your like You're not making the music. You're going to make it for when in the time you want to. You're not making it like, oh, what's going to get big right now.
Right,
There's
right.
not a, everyone can put on when they focus on their own shit.
And I feel like that's what people need to understand, man. That's one thing that I learned, just being the person that I am and sitting back and analyzing. I've looked at people in prior incidences and prior cases in hip hop who let greed and let people around them and let mind games control them to the point where it's like they beef with people for minor things, and situations get real and shit get real, but it be over little bullshit. I feel like, what I mean? If it's minor, if it's nothing major, then it ain't no reason to beef, man. You beef when shit is real. I'm from the streets, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I came too far. That people made me change my mind frame up in order to make it to this point. So I'm not gonna try to, revert back to that shit. Definitely
Nah.
over no bullshit music,
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. No, you can't
It's
take
just
that shit
music.
personal. Because usually you
At
can't take
all, not in the
anything
business.
it's one of the four agreements. Like I really do try to live by that shit. Like
Yeah, man, not at all, man, not at all. Everybody can eat, and that's what I want people to know. It took me a while to understand that, man. I'm a street dude. I had a street mentality. It was like a Fortune 500 company out on those corners. It's cutthroat. It's
yeah.
dog eat dog. You know what I'm saying? But the game is not like that. If you don't want it to be, you carve your lane and you make your own path and you just go. It's not that difficult to just go. You don't got to step on nobody's toes to eat in this game. Definitely with how the industry is built now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anybody could eat. You know what I mean?
You think
Anybody could
that's
eat.
what your mentality shift was that made it
What?
start working for you?
Um, yeah, basically, it took a lot for me to make the transition. You know what I'm saying? Because I just didn't understand it. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't understand. That's why, like, one day I just always want people to know at some point in time you're gonna get a fucking biopic, man. You're gonna see what the hell I went through just to get to these points, man. Like I was doing music for a very long time, so I really learned the ropes and the ups and downs of this shit. So it really took me a while to understand, like, you know what? You have to do what you have to do for you. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that difficult. I've paid attention to certain artists like Currency rebranding himself, Nipsey rebranded himself after you know what I mean? Just certain artists and how they just come back out 2 Chainz from Titty Boy, just certain shit.
Yeah.
Just certain shit. And that's basically what I felt like my shit was. I just had to learn how to make the transition myself and rebrand myself and just want to be different about it. Walk my own path with it, you know?
When you were a kid, when you were growing up, were you like, was basketball what you wanted to do, or was rap what you wanted to do, or were you think you were just
It
gonna be
was
in the
both.
street?
It was both. Well, the street, yeah, it was
Yeah.
all of that shit in one because my brother played basketball and did music. And when you growing up in the hood and mom's working, pops working, you know what I'm saying? If big bro making moves, the little bro gotta make moves too. So I was following my brother around doing a lot of shit. I was real good at basketball, but I was always also writing music because I saw him writing and recording music. So I got good at that as well. And then when he was going to college, I never went to school and none of that shit. I was just trying to get money and stuff. That's basically when I got caught up in the streets. But when I get to this point in my life now, I kind of see how everything made sense. I wouldn't have nothing to talk about if I didn't take the, steps that I took in life. I wanted to
Yeah.
be exactly like him. I wanted to go to school. I wanted to play basketball. I really didn't think about rap like that. You know what I'm saying? But I had an incident when I was in high school when I was about to make a safety transfer to play for a team. God bless Larry Major. My coach killed himself. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I was like at my last point, like, you know what? Fuck all of this shit. I'm a rap, So
Yeah.
yeah, I always knew like this was me as a whole. Whether I got famous, like fuck fame, but whether I got successful for any of it or not, basketball, hip hop, or the streets, this is who the fuck I was gonna be. Like,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah, that's
It's
me.
weird how
That's
time
always
works
been
like
me.
that. Because, like, when I go back to, like, I don't know, dark times of my child, like, whatever, I didn't live like a childhood like people around me were. Like, it was a
Right.
little bit darker and different. Like, I can see now looking back how I feel where I am now if I followed that path, but I feel like a lot of people get lost. They
Mhm.
you have to kind of listen to that voice. You have to have faith in yourself type shit.
Whew. Big faith, man. It's major with me. You know what I'm saying? Man, growing up in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, man, a lot of the people that I was following, that's a lot of people that's my age, man, are dead and gone, locked up in jail, and I'm young. I'm young, you know what I'm saying? A lot of my older guys are gone and all of that. So I kind of felt like, you know what I'm saying? I had to make these changes. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, like listening to the inner voice, like I saw so many friends get lost on drugs. There's just so much shit. And I just always knew no matter what I've been through, and I done been in some fucking sticky situations, in and out the system and everything. But I just always knew I wanted different. You know what I'm saying? I always knew I wanted different. And some way, somehow, I just wanted to be something. You know what I mean? I wanted to be something with myself. I wanted to get off the corners, you know what I'm saying? So I just listened to that voice, and I'm happy that that was the voice that I decided to follow. You know what I'm saying? Because there was plenty of times when I was discouraged and I wanted to give up and I wanted to turn away and turn back the way I came. You know what I mean? Go back to the block, but 2K19. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just get that energy back, and you know what? Let me just give it one shot. And that's why I was trying to tell you, if things never would have clicked, I probably would have just kept giving it that one more shot, because it's no way in hell that this voice is telling me, yo, you can be something, and I'm not being something. I knew at some point in time this shit was going to happen, man. I knew it.
You can't get, yeah. And it's funny that you said the all three tied together. And it wasn't until that moment that I even realized the significance of the name 2K19. I know that isn't stupid, but I
Right,
was like, oh,
right,
basketball.
right.
Duh. How did
Yeah,
I
yeah. That using that cover, that was actually the release of the NBA 2K of that year. It had LeBron on the front, and it had different words. I think integrity, this, that, and the third. But if you look on my cover, excuse me, it says TKO, it says Gates Avenue, it says Quincy Street. Like these are the blocks that I've been on, and that's actually everything in one. That's the basketball, that's me, you know what I mean? The artist, and then that's all of the streets. That's the street shit on the side. That's
yeah.
me as Kaine. That's Eddie Kaine. Shit, you helped
It's
me realize that for myself when I made the cover, basically.
That's crazy though, because you focused on that voice. Like you don't like me. I grew up like I know whatever like the surroundings I grew up in or how I grew up like listening like rap was my life. Like whether it be both my parents would take me to concerts when I was like 12 years old.
Right.
Like
Yeah, hell yeah.
the surroundings I was in were similar to what I was like hearing, even though the people around me wouldn't like expect it because I was going to
Right.
private school and shit on full tuition. Like they didn't know
Right.
what I was
Right.
happening. And but I didn't know what that time was going to take over quarantine. Like I'm a stand-up comedian. That's what I did until quarantine, and that's stopped. Like until I was no longer able to perform. And that's when I
Wow.
started this podcast. And when I started this
Wow.
podcast, I wasn't even interviewing and like I was interviewing other comedians about like dealing with the fucked up being like a mental case. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it just kind of fell into place. Like that's why I think you are words can't describe it, but you do have to just listen to that voice. It's
Yeah,
like
for sure, man.
I don't even
For
know how to
sure.
describe it other than that. And I don't think
Yeah.
people can hear it. You know, some people don't know what I'm talking about when I say that.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. But I'm sure it's a lot of people that do understand, and they didn't
Yeah.
make that decision yet. So for those who do understand, man, listen, man, that voice that's telling you you can be something and you can work hard and get what you want, man. Follow that, man. Follow that. No matter what your surroundings is, I don't give a fuck if you're homeless. I don't care. I don't care. Work hard. You can be something, man. No matter what. A lot of people already did it. You have blueprints to watch and follow. Be something. Be
That is
something.
the crazy thing. Like everyone you like did it too. And you don't realize you can
Yeah.
just like take little things from everybody and be a combination. It's like
Yeah.
you were talking about being selfish. And like
Mhm.
you have to be selfish, but you also have to
Yeah,
realize
in
the
a way.
most selfish thing in the whole world is helping others. Like the only way you're gonna
Mm,
help yourself is if you help everyone else around you. So
that's
like
right.
that's
That's
like
right.
being selfish, it can be a bad thing, but can also take it and be a positive with it
You
too.
have to know how to make it. Yeah, you have to know how to make it a positive thing. Definitely. That's basically what I was saying without saying it. You know what I'm saying? There's a good selfish and there's a bad selfish, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I feel like, in my case, the good selfish should be like, just focusing on my supporters and in the same voice that I give you some hard bars, I just encourage everybody also in my music to just, keep pushing forward and doing what you're doing, and I don't like to do music with just anybody, I don't just work with any artist because I feel like it's not really a lot of people that's where I am in life mentally, you know what I'm saying? I don't like to make a certain type of music to bring people down. I always still want to uplift people. I don't even care if I'm talking about if you play with my money, I'm gonna give you a wedgie. I still want it to be, uplifting to
Yeah.
somebody that's like, oh yeah, this, I'm gonna give them a wedgie, So it
No, it's true. It's
is
like
what it is, but
that's what I
yeah,
love
man.
about all the artists that worked with like Big Ghost is it's all that same shit. UFO, Vic Spencer, like
Yeah,
Like
man.
Conway West Side, like
Yeah, hell yeah,
Ransom. They're
man.
all like you guys are all teaching too, and it's an energy
Cause that's
thing.
what it's about. That's what it's about. It's like, what is the point? What's the point of having a message? Like, if you're gonna, what's that point of having an opportunity to give people your message if you're bringing them down? Like, you have to give them the trials and tribulations of this shit. And I feel like that's what Big Ghost understand. Big Ghost work with real artists. Big Ghost don't work with nobody that's gonna give you no boopity boop bars and just tell you anything. He work with somebody that's gonna, you know what I mean? They're gonna give you the ups and downs of the shit. That's why I big salute to Conway West Side Ransom because people think you have to just listen to the music, man. It's not all, they're not glorifying the life that they lived, man. They telling you that they're thankful to be here today to tell you about the shit that they came out of. And that's what
Yeah.
I feel like my group of elite artists that understand that those are the people that I want to work with. You know what I'm saying? Even the ones that's not big names yet. It's just certain artists that you can see that in that understand, like, yo, their story is a gift. It's not all about glorifying the you know what I mean, the
Yeah.
glitz
It's
and the
about
good
making the
shit about.
choice. It's about making
Listen,
that
man,
choice. Like that's
letting
all
them
it is.
know,
There's
letting them
people who
know
have
you
made
have
that choice and people who haven't. And like you just know it's an
facts.
energy
That's a
thing.
fact. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you are all about like making music that's about is it shitty like those three albums you're sitting on? Like, is there a chance those will never be released and you'll just like work
Mm-mm.
on the next thing or
Mm-mm. Everything is going to be released in due time. You know what I'm saying? I'm
yeah.
just very strategic about, what I mean, my music and when I drop my music and how I drop my music because I don't like for my music to it's just I guess I'm still wounded by the streets, you know what I'm saying? I have a support system and I have a fan base, but I'm just so like I just don't want it to be looked over. I want people to understand like what I give you is personal, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like timing is everything, you know what I'm saying? So you'll definitely get these three albums and they're fucking crazy. I'm working on them. It's not like there's three complete albums, you know what I'm saying? I probably
Yeah.
have one project that's done, but I'm working and because I feel like certain things have to be in certain places, but I would like to hope that y'all would love it when it drops because I'm not gonna take another year gap like I took with the project with Big Ghost. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, it's time for me to show my creative side. And I'm not telling everybody that I'm dropping 8 releases in 1 year now, but I'm gonna be a little more frequent with it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So expect some new shit, expect some fire. It's still personal, it's still touching, it's still dope, and it's gonna be a lot more consistent now.
You said you had a bunch of different versions of some of the songs on
Mm-hmm.
A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. Is there going to be
Mm-hmm.
like I know UFO did like a deluxe with a remix, like a different beat to it. Would you ever release the other versions you've done to those songs?
I feel like um I can make that a thing. I can make that a thing. I didn't think about it in that way. You know, maybe sometime in the future I can put together my own, you know, like how Nas had the lost tapes and you can get these versions of these records. But we definitely I don't yeah, we're not gonna do the deluxe. You know, we already did the 4 alternate covers and the cigarette sneaker box. I feel like we killed them with that. I
Yeah,
feel like
all
we
the
put together
artwork
a
has been crazy.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Who
So I
took the
felt
who
like
took the shot? Who took that shot?
Bomb Burner, my dude Bomb Burner, you know what I'm saying? Out in NJ, out in Jersey. You
He
know, we
killed
went
that
out there.
cover.
Yeah. I didn't know it would be this simple, you know, so that's why I really like it. It really grew on me, and it had to grow on me because this was Big Ghost. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I took the photos, and I sent them the photos, and I looked at his previous artwork. You know, I was just so excited to drop a project with him. So I looked at his previous artwork covers and I'm like, damn, I wonder what the hell he gonna do with this picture. I wonder how he gonna flip it out. And when he sent the pictures back to me, he just like sent the pictures. I'm like, so what's up, bro? Like, is this the cover? He's like, this is it. I'm like, yo, it's no words, it's nothing, bro. Like, you didn't alter anything.
You thought it was gonna be all crazy, like artwork.
Yeah, like I thought he was gonna probably make a half of my head a skull or have me some shit. I want to, you know what I mean? But when I saw it at the same time, while I was telling him, like, yo, bro, like it's a plain picture. Like you're gonna like it's gonna be a vinyl with a plain. And I'm like, it's gonna be a vinyl with just a plain picture of me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that shit is fire. You know what I'm saying? And it grew on me that way. So the whole idea of now people are gonna have like you're gonna be scrolling through your vinyl and you're just gonna see like a fucking picture of me, like no words, no nothing, just a picture of me. I think that shit is dope and it's hella creative. And I'm not taking the credit for it. That was all BG. I expected some wild, crazy, over the top shit, and the simplicity killed them. The simplicity killed them.
Nah, because I love all his covers, and I love this one, especially with the name. Did you have the name for the project before?
No, we was frisbeeing. We frisbee some names back and forth. We had some ideas back and forth, but I already knew of the book from back in the day. You know, I have an older sister that used to read like a motherfucker, so I remember her actually having a book, A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. So when he said that, the light bulb over my head just, you know what I mean, blew up.
What did
Bing!
you?
I was like, oh shit.
What was your first name that you thought you were gonna name it?
Oh man, you know what? Damn. I would literally sit here right now and scroll back in my messages just to tell you. It was some bull. I think mine was some bullshit. I'm not gonna lie. It was something very like. It was something very whack. But yeah, no. We went with those shit. We went with those.
Yeah,
because
nah.
because I think like we had the title long before we even started working on the music. Before he sent me the beats, we had the title with a project already. So that's what I'm trying to say.
Oh,
like,
really?
We had the title first. So I had nothing to, you know, get a vibe off or anything to kind of even think about what it would be. So I think when we was just frisbee, I said some dumb shit, and then I was like, you know what, forget it. And we laughed about it. But that's another thing that made me and Ghost relationship so cool, because it was fun, man. It was fun. It was no like, you know, no egos in the way. Me and him was just cracking so much jokes, and it was so cool, and we were so free about going with the project. And he like, yo, bro, like, you think I should do this? You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, you think I should do this with the project? Like, nah. All right, well, what about this shit? All right, well, that might work. All right, fuck it. You know, I don't want to do that. We're going to do this. And it was just so much going back and forth just to make it perfect that it just made a dope-ass bond, man. And we worked and we made a masterpiece.
You really did. Everyone listening, I mean, I hope everyone listening has already heard it, but if you haven't, definitely go back and check it out, because it's,
man.
And I've only listened to it a handful of times, and there's so much more to like unwind and unpack from it.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that, bro, because these days the fucking people projects don't make it past the weekend. You know what I'm saying? People get one spin. I know people who play people projects once and be like, oh, it's trash, or oh, that's not how you really listen to an album. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I would definitely want for people to understand where A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. It's not an album that you're gonna listen to one time and think that you're gonna, you know, get your outcome from. So I really appreciate you listening to that shit more than once, man. You gotta let it spin more than once.
No, of course. Do you have a plan on like going on tour? Like, I'd love to see a you and Rim tour. That would be insane.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. As soon as some people reach out and we can set these dates and everything is right, I'm out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready. I'm actually ready. I'm ready.
Do you have a time in your head that you think you're going to do your next release for, or are you just letting it sit with this?
Yeah, I'm not gonna play with 2022. You see how 2021 I didn't drop my album. I waited. I dropped 2020, and then that whole year until October 15th, 2021 is when I dropped my next album. But I'm not gonna play with 22. I'm thinking, and I'm gonna let the people know too. I'm very secretive about it. I don't really like to let people know when I release projects. I never gave people a date.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
one
you
thing that I
never
also
gave anyone a date for
never
the.
gave a date. When I post projects, I usually post them the day of, or you probably see artwork and hear coming soon and won't know when it's coming soon. But I don't really give dates like that. But I'm not playing. January, I'm coming out smashing. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna work the rest of this year out. Y'all got some more videos to expect from the Tree Bros in Brooklyn. You got the merch. I'm dropping the merch soon. Everything, hats, sweater, all of that stuff is coming soon. And that's what we're gonna work out for the rest of it. It's only one more month basically. But
Yeah.
I wanna say, January, late January, February. But in the beginning of the year, we're not playing. We're coming out 2022 with a bang. For real.
Can't wait to hear. And I also before we end, I also have to shout out the merch you did with Kip. Kip literally lives 10 minutes away from me. Oh, he does
Shit.
He literally lives in Massachusetts, like 10, 15 minutes away from me. So he killed that piece that you guys did together.
Yo, yeah, man. Salute to Kip for that piece. I really appreciate it. I just met him at the 1,000 Word Show. That was my first time meeting him that night, bro.
Yeah, he's a dope ass
Real
dude,
good
dope
dude.
ass artist.
Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. I really
and he's going to be
that,
doing
man.
the logo for the Vivo podcast. So you guys can check that out coming soon. Man, thank you so much for coming on. It was an honor talking to you, for real.
Anytime, bro. Anytime. You already know how to hit me, man. We could do this again, bro. I'm here.
Man, I'd love that. I'd love that. Thank you. I'm going to come out to your show. Everyone go, can they follow you online, get your merch and shit?
All right. So Twitter and Instagram is @_Eddie Kaine. Kaine is Kaine, Eddie Eddie. And EddieKaine.com. That's where everything is at. You know what I'm saying? And other than that, y'all see me where y'all see me, man. I'm always in the streets, man. Holla at your boy.
Man, thank you. Thanks everyone for listening. Peace.
You already know, bro.
Man, thank you so much for coming on. This was awesome getting to sit down and talk.
Hell yeah, bro. This is dope, man. Anytime, man. Anytime. You got me. Just hit me up. Let me know, man.
Man, I appreciate that. Thank you. And
for the next project, we could definitely do an exclusive if you want to, too.
Oh, I'd love that. We can do one in person. I got a studio in the East Village.
Yeah, you did say that. Yeah, hell yeah. I'm coming out there. Just let me know. We're going to line that up.
Awesome, man. Thank you. I hope you have a good rest of your night.
All right, you too, bro. Take care.
All right, peace.